The conclave to elect a new pope following the death of Pope Francis on April 21, 2025 is a centuries-old process steeped in tradition, governed by strict rules and designed to ensure secrecy and divine guidance. Set to begin on May 7, 2025 in the Sistine Chapel, the conclave involves 133 cardinals under the age of 80 as mandated by church law. The process starts with the cardinals gathering in the Vatican City after a period of mourning and preparation, traditionally 9 days after the Pope's death, though this can be adjusted. In this case, the start date allows for travels and required pre-conclave meetings called general congregations, where cardinals discuss the church's needs and get to know one another. These meetings began shortly after Francis's death, giving the electors time to reflect on the 12-year papacy that saw 80% of them appointed by Francis himself. On the morning of 7th May, the cardinals assemble in St. Peter's Basilica for a mass, pro elegendo Romano Pontifice, for the election of the Roman pontiff, invoking the Holy Spirit's guidance. They then process to the Sistine Chapel, singing the hymn Veni Creator Spiritus. Once inside, all non-electors except a few designated assistants are dismissed with the command, extra omnes, everyone out, and the chapel is sealed. The cardinals take an oath of secrecy, swearing never to reveal the proceedings under the penalty of excommunication. The voting begins under Michelangelo's frescoes, with the cardinals seated along the walls on simple thrones. The rules, largely set by Pope John Paul II's 1996 Constitution, Universi Dominici Gregis, and later modified by Popes Benedict XVI and Francis, allow for up to 4 voting sessions per day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. Each cardinal writes the name of his chosen candidate on a rectangular ballot in disguised handwriting with the phrase Ego Cardinalis, meaning I, Cardinal, at the top. The ballots are folded and placed in an urn, then counted by 3 elected scrutineers with 3 infirmary on hand to collect votes from any sick cardinal staying at the nearby Domus Sancti Mater, where the electors reside. A 2/3 majority is required to elect a pope. In this case, at least 89 votes out of 133. If no one achieves this after a round, the ballots are burned in the stove, with chemicals added to produce a black smoke, signaling to the world waiting in St. Peter's Square that no pope has been elected or chosen. This continues for 3 days with up to 12 ballots. If there's still no results, a day of prayer and reflection pauses the voting, often with a senior cardinal addressing the group to encourage consensus. Voting resumes, but after 30 ballots or 33 depending on the day, the rules shift. The cardinals can vote to reduce the requirement to a simple majority or hold a runoff between the top 2 candidates, a change introduced by John Paul II to avoid deadlocks. When a candidate finally secures the necessary votes, the Dean of the College of Cardinals, currently Cardinal Giovanni Battista, re-asks the elected cardinal, "Do you accept your canonical election as Supreme Pontiff?" If he says yes, he's asked, "By what name do you wish to be called?" The new pope chooses his papal name, often reflecting his vision or a tribute to a predecessor. The ballots are then burned with chemicals to produce white smoke, and then the bells of St. Peter's ring out, signaling success. About an hour later, the senior cardinal deacon appears on the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, announcing Habemus Papa. We have a pope, followed by the new pope's first blessing, Orbi e Orbi, to the city and the world. The conclave secrecy is paramount. Electronic devices are banned. The Sistine Chapel is swept for bugs, and the cardinals are isolated from the outside world. This ensures their decision, meant to reflect divine will, remains untainted by external influence. Historically, conclaves have varied in length. The longest in modern time was in 1740, lasting 6 months, while the 2013 conclave that elected Francis just took 2 days. With a diverse electorate, fewer than half European, hailing from 54 countries, The 2025 conclave's outcome is uncertain, balancing Francis's progressive legacy against calls for tradition, all under the weight of sacred ritual. My name is Randall. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon for notifications on every new post that I make.